Well, guys, the time has arrived for the Book of Boba Fett finale on Disney Plus with Chapter 7. And I have to say, it was definitely a disappointing episode. Don't get me wrong, it was good and, ended off the storyline good enough, but at the same time, it just wasn't great. First of all, although one thing I do have to give the episode credit for, it did have Boba Fett in it, so that's definitely something that's going for it. But yeah, it is really sad that the best two episodes of the Book of Boba Fett are the ones that don't have Boba Fett in them. And I don't really know what it is, whether it's just the characters that were set up here or the storyline, because there really wasn't anything like huge set up with this Book of Boba Fett storyline, and then we just like jumped into it, and then all of a sudden skip ahead 2 episodes, and boom, we're back, and that's it. And yeah, like a lot of the things we loved about the last 2 episodes just did not continue here. Like there were a lot of open-ended questions that we never got answers to, and things that kind of just all of a sudden happened. It's like, whoa, what about this and that? And yeah, I definitely have some problems with this episode, but we're gonna go and jump into this and break it down in depth with spoilers. So, of course, guys, full spoiler warning. If you've not seen the episode yet, definitely go check it out on Disney+. But without further ado, let's jump into this and talk about the Book of Boba Fett, Chapter 7. So, the episode starts with Boba Fett and Fennec Shand in the aftermath of the cantina. From last episode, of course, got blown up, and there was this big explosion due to the Pikes. So, they're just kind of trying to figure out what to do now, and they're working on a new plan. And as they're working on their plan, we also have our villains working on their plan as well. So we have Cad Bane meeting up with the Pike leader and the mayor, which really all of these villains were super underdeveloped and really like underwhelming. But they reveal that they were actually the ones that killed the Tusken Raiders, not the Nikto bikers like they were framed to look like. So yeah, that was a pretty big reveal there. I mean, I thought it was kind of common sense that was like a thing. It wasn't really super surprising, but there was that. And then after this, after when Fennec Shand is working on setting out the plan, Boba Fett actually has a confrontation with Cad Bane. So Cad Bane shows up outside the cantina, and he reveals to Boba that not only did he kill Cobb Vanth, but that he is the one that killed the Tuskens. So of course Boba is getting a lot of rage here built up, but he's going soft here, and Cad Bane specifically points that out. You're going soft in your old age. And that's honestly like probably one of the biggest complaints about the series is that just Boba Fett seems really soft. Like he seems Disneyfied here. Like he used to be a complete badass. Now here he's like not even close. And is honestly kind of stupid sometimes in this series. Which is kind of perturbing. But after this, Cad Bane, he just walks off, and this is where the action of the episode gets started, because we have these coordinated attacks attacking each of our groups that have been sent out there. We got the Mods, we got Black Chrysanthemum, and we've got the Gamorreans, who the Gamorreans actually end up getting killed and thrown off a cliff. It was actually super kind of sad that they died. You know, they were some good, loyal soldiers, and then boom, they're dead. But we did get this really cool action sequence and like start to the action sequence where Boba and Mando fly in with their jetpacks and attack the Pikes from the air. That was really cool, especially when they're like back to back. I thought that was really cool and I enjoyed seeing that. But so yeah, they're in Mos Eisley, and the people of Freetown arrive to kind of avenge the death of their deputy and Marshal Cobb Vanth. So they show up there to help. Also, we have Chrysanthemum arriving as well, and we just have this big, huge standoff / duel going on here. It was pretty cool. But meanwhile, we also had the return of Grogu, which was another thing that was cool, but confusing at the same time, because we get to see Peli Motto again, which was great. I love her character. She's hilarious. And all of a sudden, this X-Wing shows up at her garage. And, of course, we're all wondering, like, oh, who's flying this? Grogu. So, well, obviously he's not actually the one flying it. R2-D2 did that. But still, Grogu is there, and all by himself. That was the big cliffhanger of last week's episode, that Grogu was given the choice between, alright, take the lightsaber, become a Jedi, continue being trained by Luke, or take the chainmail armor and go back to be with the Mandalorian. But instead of seeing him make that decision, it's just he kind of just shows up here, and obviously that makes his decision obvious that he chose Mando over Luke, but still, like, it would have been nice if we at least saw a scene where he chose that and you could see Luke's reaction, maybe. Like, Luke isn't even in here, and I understand that probably because of budget and stuff, because it is super expensive to get the deepfake stuff with that, but still, I mean, even it was weird, like, Luke didn't even give him a ride, he just sent Baby Yoda over to Maz Eisley on his own, with R2-D2, but still, it was weird, it was just, it felt like we were skipping stuff, and I wasn't a fan of it, but what was cool, though, is that he and Peli Motto actually showed up to this big battle, so we get a nice reunion between Mando and Grogu, so that was nice seeing that little bonding moment there. Boba also shows up riding the Rancor, which was a big thing we kind of predicted a couple episodes ago, but again, that was a couple episodes ago, so I almost kind of forgot about that. And Grogu saves Mando using the Force. Cad Bane shows up and actually easily scares away the Rancor, which was kind of disappointing. But then Cad Bane and Boba Fett have a shootout, and Cad Bane wins this shootout. He rips off Boba's helmet and actually almost kills Boba until Boba does end up getting the upper hand. He channels that rage, knowing that Cad Bane is the one responsible for the death of the Tuskens, grabs his stick thing, his weapon that he got from the Tusken Raiders, and he used that to actually stab, kill, and murder Cad Bane, which I have a whole lot of mixed feelings on. I mean, it makes sense, and it was kind of cool. It was good for the character of Boba Fett, you know, seeing him actually let loose and not be so soft. But, and also just, you know, bringing things full circle with the whole Tusken Raider thing. And technically, like, Cad Bane originally was supposed to die anyway. In the Clone Wars, there were unaired episodes where basically the same thing happened, just in animated form, where Boba Fett and Cad Bane had a duel. Boba Fett won and he killed Cad Bane, but those episodes never aired, so that never officially became canon until now. So, I mean, I'm not super upset by it. Obviously, it would have been cool to see this character for more than 2 episodes, but it was still cool and it did kind of make sense. And also, he might not be dead because there was something on his chest that was beeping. I'm not sure if that's like a heart monitor or something like that, but it was still beeping after it looked like he was dead. So I'm not sure if he is alive or if he isn't. Then again, I thought Cobb Vanth was still maybe alive, but you know, you saw what happened there. But then after this, kind of the big action is over. I mean, Cad Bane was kind of the main villain here, but like didn't really, like, sure, he was cool, but I feel like it's the same problem that they had with Kingpin in Hawkeye, where they introduced the main villain in like the last 2 episodes. And then there's like nothing built up there. Like, if these villains were introduced at the beginning of the season, you could have actually built up the tension and built up to this moment between Boba and Cad Bane and actually earned that moment. But instead, it felt kind of forced. But after this, we kind of just have some cleanup here. Like, the Rancor goes on a rampage, so Grogu puts it to sleep. That was cute. Fennec Shan goes to the Pike base and kills everyone there. And so now basically the day is saved. I mean, Boba and his friends, they all celebrate. It's like, oh, I'm the Daimyo now. And that's kind of the end of his story. Not sure if or when we're going to see that character again. Then we get a little setup for Mando Season 3, where Mando flies off in his new N1 starfighter with Grogu in the little droid pod thingy. And that is where the Book of Boba Fett ends. That is where it ends right there, until we do have actually a mid-credit scene here, which I thought was pretty interesting. I was hoping there'd be something, but definitely did not expect this, because we open up on the Bacta tank, and earlier in the episode, or actually at the end of the episode, Boba mentioned that somebody was using the Bacta tank, and I thought that it was Black Chrysanthemum, because he mentioned that to him early in the episode, like, I owe you a Bacta tank soak, or something like that. But no, it's actually Cobb Vanth in here. And then you also see Thundercat's character here, who of course was like the mod repairer that actually created these cyborgs. So basically, Cobb Vanth is alive, or will be, at least at some point in the future. He might be dead, might be bringing back to life. And he's going to be a cyborg, which I don't know how to feel about, because, again, I thought they could have easily explained it as he's not dead. I mean, he got shot in the shoulder. He could have survived that. And also, if he was just shot in the shoulder, like, are they going to make him a full cyborg, or just give him the cyborg shoulder? Like, imagine that you get shot in the shoulder, you wake up, your whole face is a robot now. That'd be pretty crazy. But you never know. But that is where it ends. That is the end of the Book of Boba Fett. We have no idea if we're getting a season 2. I'd say, I don't know. I'd like a season 2. I did a video yesterday about Tamara Morrison actually pitched an idea for a season 2 in a recent interview about how he wants Boba Fett to be hunting down Mace Windu and try to get justice on his father's killer. I think that would be awesome for season 2, and again, would really show the less soft side of Boba Fett, which I would love to see, but I don't know, I guess we'll have to wait and see for now. I'm definitely really excited for The Mandalorian season 3, hopefully that's better than this, because the Book of Boba Fett, again, it had some great episodes here, especially last 2 episodes, but those weren't really about the Book of Boba Fett. And it is pretty crazy, though, seeing as how, like, last week's episode, you can go from people saying that this is, like, some of the best Star Wars I've ever seen, to now this week, I've seen a couple of reactions on Twitter already saying it's complete trash, which is sad, but I don't know. I'm definitely mixed on it. I feel like it wasn't the greatest series, definitely could have been way better, but it wasn't as bad as some people say it is. But anyways, guys, you can let me know your thoughts on this in the comments below. What did you think about the finale of the Book of Boba Fett? What did you think about the ending to the storyline? And do you think we should get a season 2? So guys, thanks so much for watching. Please drop a like if you enjoyed this video in the Star Wars life.